Ever wondered how to efficiently manage your infrastructure as code? In this session, our expert mentor will dive into Terraform configuration, exploring different type of files, their formats, and how to start building your infrastructure code. So whether you are new to Terraform or looking to refine your skills, this session offers valuable insights to enhance your infrastructure management. So learn the best fundamentals and best practices that will make your Terraform journey smoother. Stay tuned till the end for key takeaways that will take your infrastructure skills to the next level.
Terraform configuration file. So till now we only have written one Terraform file, that is .tf. Okay, in that file you define that what is your desired infrastructure. Okay, and you use a declarative model we have seen. So the order does not matter here. You can write this before, afterward, anything. That will not create a problem because it's not imperative, it's a declarative approach. Okay, and here you define different blocks of code, your configurations that will define that you want to create these resources. Now apart from .tf file, we have seen few more files getting generated on the folder where we are working, right? As of now we only have seen two things, one is a directory and one is a log SQL file, and we have discussed about both of them. But as we move ahead, we will see there are few more files getting generated, files like .tf state, okay, files like .tf state.backup, files like maybe you might create a variable files, and so on. So what are these? These all are my different Terraform configuration files. Okay, it can be a .tf file, it can be a binary file, it can be stateless, anything. Remember, okay. So now one most important thing is this all files are only within the scope of this directory that I'm working, that is K21TF. If I exit this directory from the console, this will not make any sense to me because all the files, everything is running here. Okay, so Terraform works on the scope of your directory, your folder, all the configuration files. That means you are saying, okay, if I have 10 Terraform files here, okay, there are 10 main.tf files and all of them are having different configurations. So when you use Terraform plan or Terraform apply command, your Terraform will load all the files. Okay, it will load all the files. It will not load any one or two files, all the files in that folder. That means all the configuration files are loaded in the memory to run. Remember this, it's a very important thing to remember. Okay, by default it always checks for the current directory that we have been looking at. But yes, if you have some other folder where you have configuration files and you want Terraform to point to that directory, that is also possible, which we will see in our upcoming sessions. Okay, so question is, okay Akhil, these are all the different configuration files. We have seen the formats. There are .tf extension, and I told you that Terraform supports .ts as well as also .json, because the format of .tf, that is HCL, is quite similar to JSON, JavaScript object notation. Okay, so it's very easy for a person who knows JSON to understand TF, or who knows TF to understand JSON, and it's a very human friendly language, HCL. You see, everything is quite simple. We just read the key and the value and enclose inside the respective braces for enclosing them into different blocks and subblocks. Now let's talk about how we start building a code. Okay, so the first thing that we have seen is you need a provider block. This is the mandatory part. You should have a provider block. Okay, and inside that you will define that which provider you want to use. As I told you, version is optional, but if you want, you know how to define the version now by using Terraform block to define the version information also. If you don't specify the version, it will automatically take the latest version from the registry.terraform.io. And these are just different syntax that you can use to match your providers. Okay, like you are saying, okay, okay, today it is 1.1. What if tomorrow it goes to 1.2, 1.3? I want my provider to automatically match that. Okay, but I don't want to go it on 2.x version because there might be, very different change in two different versions, because you know about versioning, right? The first one is the major change, second one is the minor change, third one is the patches. So I don't want any major changes to happen. So I'm okay with 1.x series. I'm not okay with 2.x series. So you want to match. Okay. So in that case, you can use these syntaxes. Okay. You can use tilde, any version in this range, greater than, and so on. Okay. So that it will automatically match for you and will keep your provider updated, not limited to what we have defined. Okay, if you want it to only one, then you can use this equals to that we have been seeing. Version is equals to which version you want. Okay. Next thing is about authentication. So we have seen we can simply use AZ login command. That is the one of the ways to authenticate, but that is not the only way to authenticate. Okay, in production, you will be authenticating from some other ways. Okay, you can authenticate using service identity, using service principal, using client secrets and certificates. So these all are the different ways of Microsoft Azure portal. So if you have knowledge about Microsoft Azure, you can easily generate your service principal, okay, with the certificate or with the secret, and then you can use them into your Terraform. So instead of using AZ login command, you can authenticate using the service principal also. We use these service principles basically when you have something to control as per the role based. Okay, so normally in company, let's say you have 10 fellow who want to use your Terraform. You don't want to provide credentials to them, right? To all of them. It is not a good practice. So as a Terraform administrator, what you will do is, or sorry, as a Microsoft Azure administrator, you will generate a service principal based upon their job roles with a secret, and you will share them to each of the participants. You will say, oh, this is your secret with service principal. Use it to authenticate whenever you are trying to connect from Terraform. And same goes on with other fellows who are working with different job roles. Okay, so that is the case that when we use service principal. Otherwise, as a beginner, as a testing, we are okay to go with the Azure CLI because it's a straightforward using an AZ login command. So we know how to use this Azure CLI. We have set up it, we have downloaded it, and we have installed it, and we have also executed the AZ login command. So everything is successfully done. Okay, next one is, now let's talk about creating a resource. Now you say, okay, understood, we are good here. We have seen how to download the provider. Authentication is also good. What next? So next is, now let's try creating an actual resource. Okay, so what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to connect to my Microsoft Azure, of course. So I'll change it to Azure RM. Here's AZURERM, Azure RM. Save it, and I'll just run Terraform init to make sure that it is using my Azure RM provider.
Thank you so much for staying with us till the end of the video. Now all you have to do is just click the link in the description below and you will be taken to this page. Now enter your name, enter your email ID, enter phone number and select on your preference. Now click on register now. Then you will be redirected to a thank you page. Now you can add this session to a Google Calendar or Apple Calendar, and I promise that this is something that you don't want to miss. So go ahead, click on the link and step into the world where learning knows no boundaries. Till then, keep enjoying. I'll see you in the next video.